This presentation is about decision-making specifically applied to public administration and public policy. This presentation is divided into several parts. The first is how to assess each of the models of decision-making. And then we discuss 5 models in turn: the pluralist, elite, public choice, state-centered, and neo-Marxist. There are many ways of assessing decision-making models, but in this case, I suggest you ask a series of questions. Who makes the decision? Who enforces the decisions made? How are decisions enforced? What motivates the decision maker? Who influences the decision? What assumptions does the model make about the situation? In what conditions does the model work? What does the model predict? And what does the model explain? In the pluralist approach, power is widely dispersed in the political system. The power is not monopolized by any state or corporate elite. Individuals use a range of resources to organize and make demands of the system. Decisions are compromises made among the competing groups. Different policy areas have different groups making demands on the system, and pressure groups are replacing individuals and parties in pressuring the system itself. In the elite approach, a small group of people have a disproportionate amount of power in the system. This group is relatively homogeneous, but it is also unrepresentative of the population as a whole. And it makes decisions in its own interests, and that includes political or state elites, formal public office holders, as well as economic, professional, ideological, and other social elites. In the public choice approach, politicians and voters both act in a rational, self-interested way. They make promises in return for votes and adopt policies that will get them elected. Politicians, all other things being equal, will respond to the interests with the largest number of votes and concentrate on the marginal or undecided or strategically located voters. Politicians will try and maximize publicity of their successes and minimize the publicity surrounding their failures. And they will bargain with public servants, media, other politicians, and pressure groups in order to make decisions. In the state-centered approach, the state is largely independent from social and societal forces. Authorities decide what is good for society and then design policies to achieve that. Politicians rely heavily on the bureaucracy for advice. The authorities protect their power by generating information and maximizing their jurisdiction and their budgets. And to persuade the public or get support from groups, authorities will resort to manipulation of information or coercion. The neo-Marxist approach has the corporate elite or the bourgeoisie controlling the private sector. The corporate elite largely determines public policies, and those policies help them stay rich or get richer. The middle and working classes have to be accommodated so that the government doesn't have to use force against them. The state must contend with powerful multinationals in the modern era. And the corporate elite provides public officials, money for political parties, pressure groups, and money for the economic system to work. When all is said and done, when assessing decision-making models for public administration or public policy, you must answer one critical question. Where does the power really reside?